Welcome back, everybody, and welcome to Muses and Notes. As you can see, we have the new Model Y Juniper. So, I'm going to be sharing my first impressions. I have already taken this vehicle on a lengthy drive yesterday. This is a demo vehicle from Tesla. We're actually really lucky to have the vehicle um, be given to us overnight. That was really cool. I ended up getting a call from Tesla late a day before yesterday, and they said, "Hey, how would you like to keep the car overnight to get a good feel for the experience?" And I said, "Sure. How does it work?" "Well, we'll go ahead and set up an appointment with you," they said, "and pick it up at 5 o'clock, drop it off at 10 o'clock the next morning, and you're squared away." So the process was incredibly seamless. Um, I had no issues with it. Got there 5 minutes later, got into the car, and we were off. My wife drove it. She said, embarrassingly enough, that she kind of didn't notice much of the changes. Just so you know, we have a Model Y 2025. It is also in stealth gray, so that might have been one of the differences here as to why she did not. But again, let's go ahead and dive into it. The initial take on my experience so far. Just looking at it from the outside, you'll definitely notice these changes here, and more visible than not here. Up at the front, we have the new bumper. Definitely like the Cybertruck-esque look with that light bar. Just looks nice, looks sleek, looks mean. Aerodynamics here have been improved. Some folks out there are saying not significantly, or not to the amounts that the good folks at Tesla's numbers have put out, but nonetheless still an improvement. Believe this vehicle is rated at 332. um, it just looks nice, and I definitely like the aero wheels here. That was one thing that my wife indicated that she did not like the aero wheels, but that's not a big problem. We can easily fix that and get it some nicer, sportier looking ones. Just so you know that we are going to be purchasing or leasing a new Model Y Juniper, but my wife has chosen black for the color. Sorry about the wind if it's a little too windy out here. So here it is on the outside, and the back end. Oh my gosh, it has our household divided. I think it looks stunning. It looks sleek. It looks clean. Most certainly love the look. It actually feels like seems like it gives it a nice wider stance. I was following my wife on the way home yesterday. We went out to dinner first and then came home, but I kept following her, and she said, "Why are you following me? You're making me nervous." I told her I just can't get over the way that this vehicle looks from behind. It looks amazing. She chuckled a bit, but there it is. A couple of go arounds here. I'm going to go ahead and share the look from the inside here. There's some subtle differences here. First, you'll notice one thing that a lot of people have not covered, just the way that it opens right here, the lid. It doesn't have the latch. I really like that leathery looking latch, and this one does not have it. Um, you'll notice here, I do love the fact that they ended up making space for the cover. So that is an amazing feature. Love the fact that the cover here is magnetic. I'm not going to take it out, but I definitely do want to show y'all the mechanical seats. Press this button here and it goes forward, and I don't know if you can tell, maybe I didn't have a great angle there, but the forward seat ended up going just a bit, scooted just a bit up, so the back seats could fold down. Let me go ahead and have it again. There it is. You're seeing it. moving a bit forward to make room. Completely mechanical. Oh, I know what happened there. That's because I have my kids' car seat, but you get the general idea. Let's go ahead and go in here, give you a nice view of the back here. You'll have to excuse just a tad bit dirty, but the first thing that you'll notice, my kid was kicking the back seat, right? The first thing that you'll notice is that screen. It looks absolutely stunning, really beautiful. I wonder if my kid will actually get use out of that, other than like turning on the aircon and things like that, because he is glued to his iPad. But nonetheless, it's a nice feature to have. But there it is, the back seat. Let me get a view from the other side. Again, there are the arrow wheels. Let's see the trunk. I want to try to. There we go. Yeah, we still have that space, that compartment underneath. Sub trunk here. Space, pocket spaces, just a little bit narrower. I don't know. I can definitely tell, but nothing that is a drastic change. But again, overall, pretty nice. I like the extra carpet that they've added here at the end. Makes things a lot easier to slide in or not get damaged. And also the area itself, it's a little bit lower, so it makes loading things just that much more easier. I will say, I don't know about the cover itself. It kind of feels just a tad bit flimsier than the last one. I most certainly am a fan of our current cover. But there it is, closing. Let me get a view from this side. And here is the back seat. Oh, I'll tell you what, the seats definitely a nice improvement here. I love the perforation. It just has a nicer build quality overall. This vehicle has a nicer build quality. Here is the screen, gives you the ability to move around. The vents, nice feature. One huge thing about this vehicle, the air conditioning. I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, but the air conditioning is amazing in comparison to um, my other Model Y, my 2025 Model Y legacy vehicle. This air conditioning system just gets the job done at lower settings. You most certainly can feel it. But let's see here, take you through a couple of settings. Let me turn it off so it won't make too much noise. The ability to move the seats, to actually fold the seats or move them up and down. That's a nice feature. Move them from the back, I should say. It'll also give you the option, super neat, for the front seats. You can definitely tell right there that it's moving. Love that. Music. Whoop. Let me go ahead and stop that. We'll cut that part out. Um, we have a whole lot of different features here, but yeah, even down to the brightness gives you clean mode, exiting in 3, 2, 1. There we go. Ability to add Bluetooth devices, add new devices. That is most certainly a neat feature. Again, the same space that we have had in the past on the interior, but it just feels so much more refined, from the ambient lights to the upholstery on the inside. And I most certainly just love the accents right here. The carpeted accent, or the fabric accent gray. Oh, I'm thrilled, beyond thrilled with that. Um, and the sunroof here, sunroof. It's just really nice. Yesterday we were driving around, did not feel any of that Texas heat. Again, here is the side pockets. Love the fabric. Definitely higher quality, higher end here. No complaints whatsoever. Go up to the front. Close that a bit. All right, so here is the seat. Uh, Steering wheel. Pros and cons about this steering wheel, and I'm going to be as honest as I possibly can be. I'm not going to say that I'm not a Tesla fanboy. I definitely have fell in love with my 2025 Model Y. But I'm going to be honest about this, right? I'm going to share with you the pros, I'm going to share with you the cons. And right off the bat, I'm going to share some cons about the steering wheel that I do not like. The plastic itself feels so cheap. The scroll bars, whenever you are forwarding, skipping songs from one to the next, going from left to right, the textile feel of it isn't right. I'm really gotten accustomed to my old Model Y. The scroll wheel was a bit wider, a bit bigger, and it just felt nicer on your thumbs. Um, Again, the plastic, it just feels incredibly cheap. I think they could have gone and done a better job for the customers here. A little time to get used to. The windshield wipers being here, the voice controls. I'm a big fan of the voice controls, and I use the voice controls often. But honestly, other than that, it's relatively simple to get adjusted to it within maybe like an hour of fiddling around with these things. I was nice and comfortable with what I had to select. Full self driving, just select the right scroll wheel down. One thing that I do appreciate the fact that they brought back the stock, the turn signal stock, but I gotta say it just feels incredibly cheap. That feedback whenever I am signaling left, right, and there's really a non-existent feedback that I have with my 2025 Model Y. I do not like it. It just feels a little foreign, a little plasticky, a lot plasticky, and really cheap. But huge kudos to Tesla for hearing their customer base on things that they would like to be seen in their vehicles. I can't stress that enough. That is excellent that they did add it back. This was my first opportunity of testing the shift controls here. I gotta say, it is seamless. It is intuitive. It is perfect. I am not missing the right stock at all, the shifting stock. If I had a preference, yes, I'd probably say, hey, let's go ahead and add that, shift stock. That would be great. But in all honesty, I'm not missing it at all. I really like this. Um, no concerns there. The fabric, the fabric right here, everything about the look. Um, is just amazing, from the fabric here to the accent on the dash, silver accent. It just makes it a step above, definitely more refined. I love the speaker placement right here. It just adds a dynamic look, and again, the fabric, the gray fabric, I am a huge fan of. The ambient lighting, I am most certainly appreciative that they brought it to this extent and not any further. um, Definitely not needed, because in the back, as we were showing you a little while ago, there is that ambient lighting. So in reality, there isn't a need for it to be further than it is right now. And I did read a bit of articles saying that there might have been a glare, especially at night, not just like the sides, but most certainly in the front, and just the placement here. Another round of applause to the people at Tesla, the folks who ended up not only engineering but just designing this vehicle, that they heard their consumer base, and they decided, you know what, let's go ahead and do something about it. So I love that. The ambient lighting, phenomenal. Again, um, the perforated seats, the let me show you here. The cooling seats, tested them out yesterday, and whoa, I gotta tell you, for somebody who has been a lifelong Texan, I certainly appreciate it. There's those days when I get out of work, the car is hot. Yes, we have the ability to go ahead and precondition and turn on the AC, but nonetheless, right? Nonetheless, there's a little bit of heat that you feel from the seats. This takes care of it all, and it feels phenomenal. Another thing that I like is the swing mode for the air conditioning. This is genius, genius beyond genius. Most certainly appreciate the fact that you can control each side independently. So if I wanted to go ahead and have the swing mode deactivated on one side, I can, and while having the other swing mode active on the left, that is beautiful, or having them both turn on at the same time. But again, I've got to tell you, the fact that this feature is available, um, that's just beautiful. Air conditioning, you can most certainly feel the difference. And I think that subtle uh, placement, subtle different placement in the air conditioning vents makes all of the difference. And for that, thank you, Tesla. Thank you for taking into account these things that have brought this Model Y into a new generation. Yes, it's a little update, uh, but it just feels that the subtle uh, things and not so subtle things, all of the little things have added up to a phenomenal product. So there's that. Also down to the there's some wipes. Uh, uh, the subtle placement here in the dash. I love the fabric look on the wireless chargers. Everything here. Uh, I love the magnetic opening here. Nice and in good space as always. Definitely a nice, subtle improvement, but it makes such a nice difference. And they brought these from the Model X, Model S, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, there it is. The first look, exterior, interior. We'll go ahead and break up this video into two, and we'll take you on a short drive. But again, first impressions, nothing but positivity on my end. So leave some comments. Tell me what you think. The things, for, especially for those of you Model Y Juniper owners, what are your positive experiences? What are things that may have been swing and a miss? But yeah, just any thoughts that you may have, go ahead and put them in the comments section. I will be back in a moment and share a first drive impression. So thanks again.